Hello David. I am like super excited about your tutorials and the whole tutorial about the food delivery application. It's like super helpful. I have learned how to, manipulate widgets in FlutterFlow to create amazing designs. I have learned a whole lot of things. Really cool. But there's something in your application that doesn't just cut it, right? So the way you handle the cut functionality in the food delivery application seems to work, but it doesn't work in all situations. What if there are several sellers, like several vendors on the food delivery application, right? So how do you get to handle the cart functionality and even the order functionality? I wanted to try to elaborate more on how it can work, and of course in almost all cases. All right, this is going to be super helpful to me and to other people as well. And then also, if at all you could just show some extra things that can be added to the food delivery application that can just make sense, maybe distance from different restaurants, like maybe some form of calculation to check the how far the restaurant is from the location that the user is currently. So I think something like that will be super helpful to me and to other people. Can you just show me how to do something like that? Yeah. Hello, David. I am super excited to hear this suggestion and feedback from you. First of all, it's really nice to have you here. And yes, it's true. The cat functionality that I created doesn't work in all cases, of course. But that was actually to just show you that there are different ways that you can achieve the same thing, all right, by maybe using the long method or even trying to use the short method. I'm going to actually show you how to build a cat functionality that works in almost all cases. And then, yes, I will show you how to calculate the distance between the restaurant and where the about to be customer is currently located at. Will that help you? I'm sure it will help you. All right, let's get straight into it. Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial by Nocode Africa. And in this tutorial, just like the suggestion that we got from David, the other David, I'm going to show you how to handle your cart functionality even better. I'm going to show you how to do it the correct way. The other way was still correct, but that was just me trying to show you that you can manipulate these things the way you like it, right? I will show you how to handle it in a different way, more simpler, but even more interesting. Okay, let's look at it. So first of all, this is our application, right? Let me just go ahead and quickly reload this. Oh yeah, so it's supposed to be like that. Reload it quickly, and then we have our food application. And okay, after all of this part, we can just go ahead and log in. All right, let me log in. I think Nocode Africa was the about to be customer or the customer. Okay, so let me just log into that part first and then show you some things. Okay, look at it here. So I had integrated the location functionality, and so right now this application wants to know my location, so I will say yes, allow. All right, I will show you how to do this in your application. Okay, great. So after that, I think we now have access to the application. Really cool stuff. All right, so we have like three different foods. There's fried rice, there's turtle bread, and there's burger. Who doesn't like all of these food? I don't think there's anyone that exists that doesn't like all of this food. Well, maybe some people. There's always exception. Great. What are we going to do right now? So right now we're just going to do something really fast and simple. We're just going to run through what is really happening here. So if I click on this particular product right now, the food, you see it tells me that I missed something here. I should have put an M. So this is 7.5 kilometers from me. All right, so I will show you how to quickly do that and show you the custom code that you can use to implement that. Let's look at how these works now. So there is a particular screen called orders, right? So this is orders. These are like my old orders, right? These are like the old orders that I had. So what I'm going to do do is I'm going to go ahead and delete it and then show you how it actually does work. Okay, so let's go to the Firebase part. So this is our Firebase, and then this is the previous order, like the order collection that we were using. We're no longer using this, we're using something else entirely, and we called it orders. All right, and then we no longer have a cart in our Firebase because we are now using cards on the local state. All right, so our app state on the platform itself. So let's take a look at the different things there. Okay, so I think there's something I want to do here. Okay, good. So what I wanted to do is I needed to delete these orders, right? So I will just go ahead and delete the order here. So delete this particular document. What else is here? So I will delete this as well, and then I will delete this as well. Okay, great. Then I will delete this as well. So I want us to have like a different item, and then we can just go through it. All right, so great. If we come back here and then we check on others, this page is actually blank, right? So nothing is there. I didn't put any some form of error to, like, maybe something to check for error, but so we will leave that page. Okay, all right, so we will have to have something there for it to show. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the application again, and this is it, guys. So initially you can check the previous video to see how we handle the cart, and then also cross-check with how I'm going to handle the cart this time around. So I will just show you how it was done, and then you can see how you can learn from this. Okay, so let's go to the cart. All right, so this is the cart. Before we come to the cart, so we have like a this is the cart. Let me check out something. Okay, so I have some parts here that is still left from the previous part. I could just easily delete it, but well, yeah, I think I will in this process, but don't get yourself confused. You will see what I'm doing. Okay, so before we manipulate anything that has to do with the cart, the very first thing that you need to do is you need to come to the app state, and then you need to create something called cart items, right? So this is, no, not cart items, cart itself, right? So we have cards, right? So this cart is a list, and the data type is document reference, and it's referencing the food document. All right, so you need to set this up first in your app state, just like this. Okay, and then also you need to do some few changes in your collection, right? So if you come to orders, right, now this is my orders. It's really shorter than the previous one. So this is my new orders. It has the name. This is like the order name. All right, so order name. Here we are going to generate some form of random code. All right, look at what we have. Oh, I have already deleted the orders. So when we do it, you will see it. So the order name is like the name of the order, not the name of the food, just the name of the order. Then the amount of money. All right, then we're going to look at the address. Okay, so this address was I think this is the email of the user. Yes, and then the item. Okay, so we did document reference and food, items ordered, list document reference, food as well. The most important of all of this thing is this particular part. You see, we have items ordered. It's actually list, and it's a document reference. That's the data type, and we're referencing the food collection. All right, in this scenario, the food document. Okay, so and then we now say the user purchased. We're using document reference users. I will show you how we use this inside the application. So when you come to the food details, all right, let me click on it. All right, so food details is where you get to interact with the application, right? So when you click on the add to cart, now let's look at what is happening here. So we have a couple of actions here. Now some actions are from the previous way of handling the cart, but I will show you, you can do away with that one and use what I'm about showing you right now. So here we have this was the previous one. So this was when we're creating a document to add it to cart. That's not what we're doing. We're now going ahead to do this. You see what we're doing right now? Yes. So the app state variable, or field that we created. All right, so what I mean by that is this, right? So we created like an app state variable here. All right, so the variable is this cart. So what we now want to do is we want to add this particular food reference to that cart, that particular variable. So you see here, what you just need to do is, of course, just like we always do it, use update app state, and then you just click, and then you go locate your cart document, you click on it, and then after that you need to go ahead and then select the update type. So here we are doing add to list, and then you now need to go ahead and then select the reference of the food document, right? So that's just it. So you click, and then you go to food document, and then locate the food reference. That's it. Now when you're done with this, every single time that the user clicks on add to cart, right, in the application, it will not create a document in Firebase. Instead, it will create a document inside the app state variable that you've just created. That's like the best way to do it. The reason is because this is not an information you want to like store in your database, because well, you can store it in the database, but if you're looking at cutting down on the cost, how Firebase will be charging you for the read and writes on their platform, right? So you need to consider just storing this thing as a variable, all right, in the app state. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So now after you've added this, the next thing we need to now do is we go to the cart. All right, so we go to the cart, and here is where we have the cart, right? So the cart is, this particular part is what we did before, right? The previous thing that we did. So let me show you here. So what we're doing here is we're querying the cart collection, right? So we're not doing that anymore, right? So I just left this here just for reference purposes. So that simply means in our cart page, we will be seeing two different items, like an item gotten from the previous way and this. That's not to confuse you, I'm just like showing you the differences. All right, so if we come to the new one that we're doing right now is this particular one, the list. This is the particular part, and what we did was, if you look at it very well, I went ahead to let's look at the thing that is happening here. So since we created the variable in the app state, we can't like query it, like do a normal backend query, like query collection and all of that. Instead, we have to generate children. So what I did was I clicked on here. This is already the list view selected. Then I just gave it a name, cart items, right? So this is a variable name now. And then I went ahead and then selected the where I want to get my information from. Like this is another way of querying, but now I'm querying the app state variable, all right, called cart. So now what I'm doing is, so I clicked on this and I just go here and then I go to app state, then look for cart, right? So I selected cart, and then after that I have this particular situation. Now after I've had this kind of situation, right, what I need to quickly do is I'll come to the row, the next level here. So this is a list view already. So I'll come to the row here, and then I will go ahead and query the food collection. All right, so I'll query the food collection because now the items that we stored in our in the app state variable, that's the cart, it is storing these things as a reference, right? Especially the items ordered. So we need to now go ahead and then query it as a document from reference, and then we pick what? We are going to have to pick the cart item. So when you come here to select, you see the cart item, which is as a result of the children's that you had already queried, all right? I believe you understand what I'm saying. So this cart items is from this. Let me show you again, just one more time, so you can get it. So this list view, we generated the children from here, all right? And so when we are now querying this particular row, we are basically selecting the cart items as the source, all right? And so after this, now when we do this, what we now need to do is we'll go ahead and then do the normal selection. You click here, go to where you are supposed to pick your image. So click on it, go to the food document and select image. That's it. The same thing with the food name, you do the same thing. So you go ahead, where is it? So click here, all right, and then go to food document and pick food name. The same thing with the price. You pick the price, and then the delete here is also going to be deleting this particular thing, this particular let's say document, all right, from the app state, right? So don't forget, we were adding it to list, and then at some point we might need to remove it. So let me show you how I handled this. And then so basically what I did was, when a user clicks on this, it will go ahead and it's going to update the app state. The app state is updating the cart, the list, all right, and then the update type is to remove from list, and then we are now selecting the reference that we're removing. It's going to be the food document and reference. All right, that's like how it's done. So I have explained how all of this is done now. So now basically what now happens is that when the user goes ahead and then adds things to the cart, we're going to see a document, and we will see all of the items that they've added in a list. All right, then another beautiful thing is this: when the click on, let's go ahead and look at what we did before. All right, let's go to food details, right? So in food details, let's see the details that we are storing. Now, if we come here to the action part, when someone clicks on add to cart, now yes, we update, we add to list. Okay, so we add to list this particular information. What other thing are we doing? So this particular part was the previous thing that we were doing before, so that's not really much of our issue. Yeah, you can still use the same format that I used before to increment or decrement your prices and all of that. Okay, so we're not really going to pay attention to that. So now let me show you how it works in real time. Okay, so the user will go ahead and click on this, all right, and then maybe increase this. All right, so well, this wasn't really added, but it's still going to work in the previous one. So don't confuse yourself, please. Just try to see how you can capture the element, right? So if I go ahead and add to cart now, it has added an item to the cart, and then now we will see, basically we'll see two items. So this is the very first one, which is working the previous way, right? That's the previous way we had it, and then this is this new one that is working the way we're doing it now. Okay, and then let's go back, let's add another item. So we have a couple of items here. So that was fried rice. Let's add a turtle burger, right? Turtle bread. Okay, great. So I will just leave it like this, add to cart. Great. Now I've added second item, and so this is it now. This is for the previous where the cart was done. This is for the new where the cart is, being arranged. Let's go ahead and add the third thing so I can show you how beautiful this is. So we can go ahead and add the third one. All right, so here you will see the three items that are added in a new kind of cart, and then the items that were added in the previous cart. All right, so this is how it works. Yeah, we can actually get to delete it, so I can click here and it goes off, right? So we just remove fried rice, so let's go add it again. So let's remove it here too. Yeah, so let me go add fried rice, and come here and then add fried rice. Great, who wouldn't love to eat fried rice? So this is it now. Now there's one more thing that I have not shown you. What happens when the user clicks on checkout? Because we won't be using this one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then look at what happens when the user clicks on checkout. So let's go to cart, all right, and then we will scroll down and then we'll click on checkout. Now this is basically what happens in the checkout part. So when a user clicks on checkout, we create a document called orders. Beautiful, right? And then we set some fields. We will now have the items ordered, right? So this is going to be a list of documents, all right, and we are setting the value from the cart. Beautiful. And then that's for that one. Then we now go ahead and then set something else, the name of the order. So let me show you how beautiful that is. So we will click on this, and it's a combined text. So I just put here order, then I use random data, right? So how did I do that? So you can just click here, come to random integer, and then select the minimum, select the maximum, and then that's it. So you confirm. So if you want it to be like 4 digits, so you can make this 1000, right? So if you want it to be a minimum of 3 digits, so put a minimum of, just put 100 here, right? And that's it. Confirm and confirm, and then you have all of that working. Then the amount now is it's basically the amount is the total price. So we did this already. So every single time the user is adding something to the cart, we are increasing the app stat called total price by the price of the product they've just added. So that's it. When we are decreasing it, it's the same thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and then see what to do here. Now let me come over here, and all right, so here we are. All right, so we can even add another action to this checkout such that after checkout has been done, we can clear this cart, but I didn't add that. So you can add that particular functionality. So how you would do that is just for you to add an extra action here and say add action, say update backend, and say no, not that, state management, update app state, and then we're going to say let's say cart. Where is the cart? So this is a cart, and we will say clear. All right, so we will say clear value. So that's it. So that means after they've created the document, just clear the value. That means it will just clear off the things that are in the cart, and which is a good thing. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and click on checkout. And now that's done. I didn't put any snack bar, so nothing has really happened. Okay, so so now if we go ahead and then we come back to orders, right? So we will see the items that we have ordered now. So we have the following items. So we have fried rice, turtle, bread, and burger. So we see all the different prices here. Now let's go look at our Firebase, which is like the most important interesting thing now. So we come here to Firebase. Now we see order is this. There's this total amount of the food. If you come here and actually manually calculate, you see it's correct. Then you see the name of the order. This is order 464, right? The user purchase is the user reference of the user, right? So the reference of the user. Then this is the item, so it's not added in a list. Now the way this is done is really, really cool because it can allow a lot of things to happen. Yeah, it can allow for a lot of things to happen. You can create a situation whereby you can actually go ahead and then filter these by the different restaurants that I found. So what you would have just done is for this particular document now, add the name of the restaurant, right? You don't even need to add the name of the restaurant. By the mere fact that this information is coming from a food document and the food document has the restaurant's ID, right? So we will be able to like query that. So let me just quickly go through this. Now we have done that, let me log out of this and log in. Let's go to the seller's dashboard. So let's say seller was David. I think it was Mr. David. All right, Mr. David @gmail.com and 1 2. Okay. All right, so now we have this, and then we're logging into the seller's dashboard. I hope this was correct. Great. All right, so this is not like very correct. The running orders, I didn't fix this. So let's look at the orders. Did I fix this? Okay. All right, so I didn't particularly fix this yet, but what you can simply do really is if you want to go ahead, all right, and filter these particular details. Let's say we have different sellers. What you just need to do is go ahead and filter by the email of the seller, right? So in this particular food document now, we have a couple of things. So we have a vendor email, so you can actually go ahead and filter by the vendor's email, right? So I actually thought that I did fix that, but I think I didn't. Let's go to other seller. All right, so let me see. Let's go to this and see what I did. Okay, yes, you can actually filter by the vendor's email. All right, so you can actually filter by the vendor's email, but I think I did something else entirely. Let's see. Let's go to seller's dashboard, right? Where is it? Seller's dashboard home, and where did I have that? Orders. Okay, so this is it. So I did create that, but I forgot where I kept it. Okay, good. All right, so I just did it manually while trying to test it to just show you guys how this works. So now if you observe, right, so I just clicked on this, not this particular one. This was the old particular part. So if you click on the orders here, you see that this is the orders that just came in, right? This is a new order. Don't forget, guys, this is a new order, and we have only 2 items here. If you go to the Firebase document, like, you know, Firebase here, and then you come here, we see we have only 1 other document, but there are 3 food items. So why are we not seeing 3 food items here? It's because we have filtered it by, if you come here to the other sellers, all right, so and then you look at this very well, you see that what I did was I added a filter by vendor email, all right, is equals to the authenticated user email. That's it, right? So that's it. So you can actually get to go ahead and then filter by different vendors. So each vendor that has been able to get a sale will only see the sale that has to do with them, even if the other document is just 1. So this is really beautiful. All right, so I believe that you have been able to get some value. Let's check out the last thing that I wanted to show you here before I end the tutorial. So the last thing here is I want you to look at the distance calculation thingy, right? So let's go to the food details, right? So there is something here called this is like the distance from the person, right? So what I did here was not super simple, right? This was a custom function. So so it's supposed to be a particular distance away from you. So I use a combined text here. And then what I now did was I went ahead and used a custom function that calculates that uses two variables, the lat long of the vendor and the lat long of the user. And so if we go ahead and then look at the function itself, so I will just show you, and then you can, like, you know, look at this and try to create it yourself, right? So this is the custom function. I'm not going to like explain how this works, but basically it requires two parameters or two arguments. One is the position 1, which is the lat long of let's say the vendor, and then the second one is the lat long of the customer, right? So, and of course both parties are going to be asked to give access to their location because it's just customary. All right, so then you can, how do you get to provide the like make them to give their lat long, right? So the lat long of the user will be collected in real time, all right, while the vendor can just give their lat long when they created their account. All right, so which is like should have been done in their store. Okay, so let me show you here. So the two things I'm using here is the lat long of the food document that carries that with the food document. Now we have the lat long of the vendor. It's always going to be the same thing. And then over here we have the lat long of the user, which is basically what we're doing is we're using the global property and we're picking current device location. So that's like the idea. Okay, so now look at this. The next thing is how did the vendor give their lat long? So if you come here to the collection, you will see that there is something called the food document. So the food document has a lat long, right? So how was this given? It was given when the user is creating a new item. So we will come to add new items, and when they are clicking on save changes, one of the things that we are updating is the lat long of the they will just basically be asked to accept that this device wants to access their location. So but this is just it. So we're taking the current device location when the vendor is creating a food item, right? So that's how we store it. And then the user is, we are getting it every single time that they're trying to like click on a particular food document. So that's it. So I believe that I have been able to show you a couple of things that will help you build a better CAD functionality for your application. If you enjoyed this video, please just hit it for me, right? Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then of course drop some comments for this video, and it will really appreciate me and help me to continue making good videos for you to learn how to use FlutterFlow to build mobile and web applications without writing code. Alright guys, see you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.